agreed to a 9-year, $360 million deal to remain with the Yankees. Judge reportedly turned down a 10-year, $400 million offer from the Padres because ultimately he wanted to stay in pinstripes. Shannon, what would you have done? Padres or Yankees?
Yankees. Just keep it look. My thing is, hell, if you spend $360 million, you're gonna spend $400 million. It ain't that much different. And when you get the taxes, that's probably $360 in New York. Skip, it's the Yankees. It's the Yankees. He came up in that system, and certain guys like a Jeter, like a Jorge Posada, like a Mo Rivera. Skip, those guys belong. The Manos, the DiMaggio. Skip, they belong in Yankee pinstripe. They don't need to be going nowhere else. And then they talk about they gonna put that captaincy on it. In baseball, it's the only captainship that matter. You could be the captain of the Padres, you could be the Astros, the Mets. It doesn't matter. It only matters if you're the captain of the Yankees, and to stay in that pinstripe for forever. And Skip, is he gonna be worth it? Okay, if he wins a World Series for the Yankees, if he hits 50 home runs a couple more times, yeah, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. And for the Yankees, they're gonna have a monument out there in Monument Park. Yeah, Skip. I mean, come on, Skip. The Padres, that's great, but come on, Skip. The Yankees, Padres had really two great players. Trevor Hoffman and Tony Gwynn. Look at the Yankees, Lord. I mean, he gets an opportunity to be with those guys, the DiMaggios. Come on. The Garrigs, the Roos, the Jeters, the Mo Riveras, the Yogi Berra. Come on, Skip, stop this.
I didn't start yet.
You know good well that man's supposed to be in the Bronx.
Well, he is for 9 more years.
He bet on himself.
Till death do him part. Baseball death do him part,
yes.
Right? I believe that Aaron Judge took the easy way out, the easier way out here, because these Yankees aren't really the Yankees anymore to me, because George Steinbrenner's sons aren't nearly as hell-bent and driven to win championships as George was driven to win championships. Today's Yankees aren't as driven as the Maris Mantle Yankees were, or going way back to the Gary Ruth Yankees, or however far back you want to go. It doesn't feel the same to me anymore. And I believe that Aaron Judge is in far more of a comfort zone as a Yankee idol than he would have been as the savior of a Padres team that is on the verge of winning it all. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but they just keep loading up and
I'm trying to figure out how they get all this money.
I don't know.
I mean, they got Machado, they got Tatis, they got Soto on the roster. Come on. And they about to pay him $400 million.
Remember, they got Josh Hader.
Yeah.
And they had added Blake Snell and Hugh Darvish, and they are loaded up. And remember, they knocked the Mets out of the playoffs, then they knocked the vaunted Dodgers out of the playoffs, and then they ran into the hottest team in the National League, which was the Phillies at that point, and they got done in by the Phillies. But in San Diego, you are virtually the only game in town because they don't have any other games left. So that town is wild about that team, and should be. And that stadium that Petco is beautiful. Right. And the point is, they wined and dined Aaron the way Odell got wined and dined by Dallas. You know, they took him to Petco. They just sent a private plane for him, and the owner met him, the GM met him, Bob Melvin, the manager met him. And yet, there's no way he wanted this. And they offered him an extra year. So the money was better at San Diego because they offered him a 10th year at $40 more million.
We good. Well, I mean, Judge turned down in March 7 years, $213. Okay. So the betting on himself got him an extra 2 years and $146.5 million. But Skip, like I said, at that point in time, when you start dealing with those numbers, 360, 400.
All right, fine. I got you. But the biggest story in baseball was a New York story last year, because it was more about the Yankees than about America, because it was about 61 and 61 hit by Roger Maris, and he finally wound up with 62. Way to go.
In a Yankee uniform.
You know what I was thinking? Wake me up when you hit 74, because the record is 73. And you can say tarnished all you want. I'm the biggest Barry Bonds fan on the planet.
That ain't the American League record.
Okay, but it's the record. And you can say it was steroid-fueled or whatever you want to say.
Well,
he did it.
Steroids didn't help his eyes. They didn't help his hand-eye coordination.
Thank you. And I witnessed it up close and personal, and I have never, ever seen anything like it.
And you probably won't ever see anything like it.
And I won't ever see anything like it. So What happened to the Yankees? Well, they did get to their ALCS, obviously, and they ran into a hot team in the Astros that were about to win it all. And the Astros swept them. And guess what your man Aaron Judge did in that series?
He ain't do much.
He went 1 for 16 with no homers and no ribbies, none, and struck out 4
But the damage had already been done.
Okay, but the point is he got away with that because he's beloved, because he broke Roger Maris's Yankee American League record, right?
But
Yankee record.
I think the thing is, Skip, I mean, look, they were still in love. The infatuation of him breaking the record, him doing what he did, almost had the Triple Crown this year.
Yeah.
But in upcoming season, he gets to the playoff, he can't go 1 for 16.
No. Well, you
He can't do that.
But if you walk in the door at San Diego there for 400, was it
400 million, 10
yeah,
years,
400 million. They're going to say, that's it. Take us home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No,
Go win us a championship.
He right where he's supposed to do that. We got a couple of pitches.
Yeah.
We're going to be all right.
He can relax now.
But he needs to skip the pinstripe. Come on, man.
I got it. It's New York City. It's pinstripes.
And you're going to be the captain?
In its comfort zone.
They had a captain. They've only had a handful of captains.
Yeah. I think there are lower expectations in the Bronx than there are in San Diego.
You a hater.
No, I'm not. I'm a truth teller. That is the truth.
Okay, Skip, he can always come visit San Diego.
Either way, Aaron Judge is going to
No,
be
he's from
just
Northern
fine,
California.
guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.